So this game, how do you see it going?
Okay, so the Philly is at home.
Before we dive deep into it, let's get into the injury report because I feel like that's very important. Because I've heard Jalen Hurts, that situation.
His knee. From what I heard from being at work all week, the Commanders, they ready to go. Everybody should be ready to go. Yeah. The Eagles, they still worried about Jalen Hurts, so I think this is like an MCL type thing, a sprain or something like that.
Something on his knee, something going on.
Yeah, people speculating it's MCL. Jalen, he's going to play. He's going to play.
Yeah, no doubt.
But his mobility will probably be limited, and the mobility is very crucial to his game because he has not been passing the ball all that great recently. He only had 120-some yards, I believe, the last game against the Rams. Granted, the snowy conditions and blah, 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 and Saquon was going crazy. So he didn't really have to throw for as many yards. But I feel like this game is going to go – I don't think this is going to be like a super high-scoring game simply because the Eagles actually have a really good defense.
Yeah, divisional game too.
Exactly, and they're home. So I think their defense is going to be on fire. Also, I believe the Commanders – I think their line is decent. I know. Oh, they did lose. Yeah. They lost Sam Cosmi for the year.
That's
so that's going to be tough. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
I heard that they're thinking about having dudes on the line move because they want to bring in the best five offensive linemen instead of just having it to where this is your position. You're just going to stay at that position, and then we'll just plug in somebody off the bench to replace Sam Cosmi. So we'll see how things go with the offensive line. But I'm gonna
continue. This game, I expect the score to be in the range of a 24-20 type deal, and I'm going based off history and the numbers. The Commanders, I don't believe they are top 12 in defensive EPA, and history usually states your team is not going to the Super Bowl, let alone they're not going to win the Super Bowl, let alone go to the Super Bowl if you're not in that category. But the Eagles are one of the best. They're like top 3.
Yeah, their defense is probably the best in the NFL right
now. They're the best in the playoffs as of right now.
Yeah.
So, honestly, the best in the NFL. So, I'm going to go with the Eagles. And also, surprisingly, I went, DraftKings now, they have it to where you can see the percentage of where the bets are going.
Yeah.
So it's like 60% money line is on the Commanders
really?
Of the bets, and 60% of the spread is on the Commanders.
Really?
So I'm like, the public money is leaning heavily towards the Commanders. And also the media is starting to lean towards the Commanders too. Like on ESPN, the show
Get Up.
Yep, Get Up.
Yeah, they all majority.
It was like 4-1. So I mean, I honestly think the Eagles will win. This seems like a game to me where A.J. Brown gets it going.
Really?
Because A.J. Brown has been very quiet as of lately, and I feel like he's due for one of those signature performances. Probably maybe not something insane like 150, maybe like 80 yards, 2 touchdowns type deal. He catches Marshawn Lattimore slipping on a go route or something like that, and that's how that happens. So I expect that type of game. The key for the Commanders would be you have to stop Saquon Barkley, and you can't let them. He can't let him get 4 or 5. Like Jahmyr Gibbs was killing him last week. They really should have gave Jahmyr Gibbs the ball more instead of Travis Goff trying to throw the ball and turning it over and blah blah blah. Jalen Hurts isn't going to turn the ball over, in my opinion, because he's been playing relatively safe ball. Kellen Moore hasn't been asking him to do too much in the passing game. The route concepts are very simple that Kellen Moore is running. That's why the pass offense looks mediocre at times. But they'll lean on Saquon. The defenders on the D linemen for the Commanders, they have to play their gaps. They have to keep gap integrity. You cannot try to get upfield on the Eagles because Saquon is going to run 5 yards past you before he even gets touched. And Dan Quinn is notorious for having his dudes just run up the field to get pressure on the QB. And against the Eagles, that's a fight you're going to lose most of the time. So I'm not sure how the Commanders can stop the Eagles enough. And I'm not sure if the Commanders will be able to score as efficiently as they did against the Lions. because Jalen Carter is a dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's a monster.
Oh, we saw last game what happened.
That dude single-handedly wrecked a whole drive.
Literally. He literally won him the game.
Yeah. And so this Jalen Carter, he's a freaking animal out there. And I'm mad that the league let him fall to the 9th pick. That is insane to me, but whatever. Cliff Kingsbury's going to have to call a phenomenal game on offense. And you really got to control the time of possession because Eagles like to run the football. Commanders are not good at running the football. And the Eagles are one of the best teams at stopping the run.
Yeah, they're top 10. I will say you can exploit their defensive line when you're running the ball. But, again, like you said, they're not a good running team.
Yeah.
So that's the problem right there is that they're very – everything is on the shoulders of Jaden Daniels at the end of the day.
It really honestly is. It really is. It's really going to be Jaden Daniels that bust out there because dude for dude, it's not even close.
But the coaching, man. The coaching matters. Coaching matters in this.
But I think Vic Fangio is going to have something up his sleeve.
So you have the Eagles this game?
Yeah, I got the Eagles. I say score will be like 24-20 Eagles.
Gotcha.
I don't want to. I hate it. It would be cool if the Commanders won. At least get some new people in the Super Bowl for once. But dang, I just feel like the Eagles. They got better dudes.
They got better dudes. I thought the same thing last week when they played the Lions. But again, like we knew the Lions defense was super injured. So when mentioned
they injured Amik Robinson got hurt like first play of the game or something crazy like that.
Right. And then when I mentioned how they could win the game, I knew it was going to be a competitive game. I just didn't think they were going to win. So this game, so you have the Eagles.
One last point.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
When you playing the Eagles, you have to play 4 quarters of clean ball.
Yeah.
Can the offense sustain for 4 full quarters? I'm not sure.
Well, they did
because the Eagles will lean on you. That's the thing. The Lions, they couldn't really lean on them because they really couldn't. That defense couldn't really get a stop or anything. But the Eagles, they will lean on you, and they will force you to play some really good football all 4 quarters.
I will say Quinyon Mitchell can be had at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
The corners can be had at times. Darius Slay can be had at times, but you got to be careful.
Darius Slay had a really good game.
He did. And I think one of the problems with that Rams game, Matthew Stafford, is that they kept trying to go at Darius Slay when they have a backup playing. Why not go to him? Yeah. Why not try to attack him? So you have to pick your battles at times. And I feel like with the Rams, it seems at times they were forgetting like, hey, here's a matchup that you should go to instead of trying to go to a veteran.
And Sean McVay, he was calling foolishness in that red zone. I don't know what he was doing.
He was. I forget. There was a play in the red zone that just, when he called it got negative yards. I forget what it was, but it was just a bad play. Just a bad idea. And Matthew Stafford, it was unfortunate just seeing that game. I wanted them to win. I wanted the Rams to win, but the snow, Jalen Carter,
Saquon
stuff
Barkley
like
had
that.
2 crazy runs.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, they were making outstanding just catches. It was just like, oh my God, I wish the Packers had a receiver like that. But with the game, I'm just concerned with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's
my thing.
Yeah.
This game, to me, doesn't even boil down to Jaden Daniels. It boils down to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. What is he going to look like? Because you're saying all this stuff, the Eagles have better dudes, Vic Fangio has this, he does this. What is Jalen Hurts going to look like? Because Jalen Hurts, I don't care what anybody says, he hasn't played well.
He hasn't.
And he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not the quickest guy in the world. He's not the most elusive guy in the world. Coming out of college, I think he ran like a 4.5. Well, he looks slower than what he was in college. And right now,
he's like slow. He looks slow, but he's like slow fast. Like he looks fast for a slow guy.
Well, regardless, he's not Lamar Jackson.
No, absolutely not.
I just think, man, the offense, it just does. There's something about this offense. You mentioned before about Kellen Moore and how he wants the quarterbacks to play. It just doesn't seem like it fits Jalen Hurts. It just seems like there's something off about the offense, the passing game. And I mentioned this before the playoffs started. They were the 29th ranked passing attack. and the playoffs roll around, there's still problems. You mentioned A.J. Brown. I know the Commanders' corners are not the greatest. We all know that. But if Jalen Hurts is going to continue to play like this as a quarterback, just reluctantly not throwing the ball to A.J. Brown, having problems getting to his receivers, the Commanders have a shot.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely
They have an amazing opportunity to just take advantage of Jalen Hurts' mishaps. But do I pick the Commanders in this game?
See, the problem is, like I said, like how I always say, teams that have defenses that allow the offense to be a little weird for a couple drives and then figure it out over time. The Eagles have one of those type of defenses.
They do, and they're at home. They're in Philly, so that definitely helps them a lot. And you got to remember this. The Commanders, they faced 2 mediocre defenses.
That is true.
And they were in the warm Florida, Tampa Bay, Florida, and they were in a dome. You going to Philly. It's cold in Philly. It's going to be in probably, it's going to be at night. No, it's going to be in the middle of the day. But
it's like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. So it's going to be at around
it's going to be 30, 40.
30-some. It's going to be a little cold out there. Do I think that would this be the first time we've seen a rookie quarterback take their team to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Do I think Jaden Daniels could be the first rookie quarterback to take his team to the Super Bowl? I'll say no. I'm going to just go with the field on this one. I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. I just trust the defense a lot more. The experience, the veteran leadership. Jalen Hurts, he's been there before. Although Jalen Hurts has struggled a lot this year at passing, being a quarterback, passing the football. I just think that running game, that defense is just too dominant. It's going to make things very difficult for the Commanders. And the Commanders, they faced 2 very mediocre defenses. They were in Tampa Bay, Florida, which is very warm, good conditions, clear skies. And then you go to a dome in Detroit, perfect conditions. Now you go to Philadelphia where it's very cold, maybe even windy, no running game. I got to go with the Eagles.
Yeah. This feels like a kind of game where it might be your 3 biggest plays type game. I honestly feel like the tougher team is going to win, because listen, when it gets fourth quarter and that cold starts settling in, you not trying to tackle Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, and in this divisional matchup, that team knows you more than any other team.
And it's not like the Eagles won 2 games. It's hard to beat a team 3. Y'all split.
That's true. That is true. I will say though, if you recall, the first time they played, Jaden Daniels was hurt.
That is true.
Second time they played, he didn't struggle at all. He was pretty damn good. I think he may have had 2 picks, though, that game.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett, he had a pretty good game, too, that time.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts ain't even play, so we ain't really even seen, like, full versus full.
Right.
Jalen Hurts kind of banged up, so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles this game. They're at home. Unfortunately, we might see a rematch with the Chiefs versus Eagles. I'm going to hate it, but
it is what it is.
I just don't think the Commanders, like you said, have the necessary dudes to compete with the Eagles in the trenches, and just their running attack is just too good with Saquon Barkley.
And I don't think Kellen Moore will abandon the run, like how Ben Johnson kind of did, doing all trick plays and all kind of goofy stuff. I don't think Kellen Moore not doing that.
And I think all Jalen Hurts has to do is
he just has to manage the game.
Yeah, just manage the game like he always has. Make some
lengthy drives,
good third down throws. Mm-hmm. Don't put the ball in harm's way, and then they'll win the game from there because they have a great defense. Just a classic early 2000s football. You have your game manager, QB, not making mistakes, rely on the running game, good defense. You'll get to the Super Bowl that way. So, yeah, that's how I look at it. And, yeah. All right. That'll do it for our predictions for the NFC.
Just let me be.